Hey guys, what's up? It's Living La Vida Linda, and thank you guys so much for joining me. As you can tell from the title, I'm going to be doing a little Q&A. I got surgery, so let's talk about it. I'm going to start this new series. It's called Listen Linda.
Listen, Linda. Listen.
Listen with Linda, and we'll just discuss any topics. Let's talk about it. Watch me as I do my face makeup. Let's just get ready and talk. Let's just have a conversation and let's get ready. So if you're interested in seeing how I did my face makeup and learning a little bit about my VSG process, keep on watching. Okay, so I'm gonna start answering the questions that I received when I posted. So the first question was, how long was the actual process like? When did you start your consultation? You look great, by the way. Thank you. So how long did my process start? That's kind of like a tough question. Technically, my process from the time of consultation to the time of surgery took a year, but I don't think that that's normal for most people. My process took a long time because of life. Just I canceled a lot of appointments because I had work or just like conflicting schedules, so I couldn't really do the appointments as quickly as I would have liked to. But if I would have scheduled all my appointments like back to back to back, I probably could have finished earlier. But my process took a year. Basically, everyone's process is different if you have different insurance. So my specific insurance had quite a bit of requirements, but the main one that was time consuming was the dietitian appointment. I had to see a dietitian once a month for 6 months, and that first visit with my dietitian did not count as a visit. It was a consultation. So technically 7 months should have been my time span, but for me, like I said, it didn't take 7 months. It took a year because my dietitian, she was fully booked like months in advance. So there were months where I couldn't get her and I'd have to wait another month or 2 months. There were times where it conflicted with my work schedule, and I had to like reschedule and things like that. So for me, it took quite a bit of time. But I know typically for most people that I know that have had the surgery, it can take them anywhere up to like at least 2 months up to, like in my case, a year. But typically I see that most people get their surgery from the time of consultation to the time of surgery, anywhere from 2 to 6 months. So yeah, for me, like I said, it was a year. All right, I just put on my moisturizer. This is my favorite moisturizer. It's the First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Priming and Moisturizer. So you always want to make sure that every step dries before you move on to the next step, because then it will crack the foundation and mess up your canvas. So I like to make sure that that's fully dried, and then I'll go in with my primer. This one's my favorite so far. I love e.l.f. primers. I used to really religiously use the putty primers until I discovered like these kind of gel ones, and I find that these just work amazing. So I just and then they just stick to the skin so nicely. Everyone's journey is different when it comes to this process, so I can't really say how it will be for you if you decide to start the process. First step would be talk to your doctor. Second step would be talk to your insurance. That's pretty much the basis of this process. How has your recovery been? My recovery has been awesome. I don't know if it's typical for most people, but I had my surgery on a Friday and I only took 1 day off. Well, obviously the Friday I took off, and then I took off that Monday, and then I was back at work by Tuesday, and I did not experience any pain. I don't know why I didn't, but I did not experience any pain. Discomfort after a surgery is obviously going to happen, but for me it was more gas pain, and just coming out of anesthesia. That it's more coming out of the anesthesia that was really the thing. So my favorite foundation, favorite. It's nice and matte. So yeah, I would say my recovery process has been awesome. I did not experience any pain. I like to blend my foundation with setting spray. Trust me when I tell you, it makes a difference when you are blending it. Your foundation will last all day. I also attribute my easy recovery to having an awesome support system. The healing process is always easier when you have help and when you have people that support your journey. If I was dealing with no support and, you know, just going about it by myself, I 1000% would feel like this journey was hard. But I had an amazing support system. My parents were, from the beginning, even before I got the surgery, very supportive of my decision, very helpful when I needed anything, like with regards to my appointments, help, even just like physically being there for me after recovery. My mom was there. I kind of don't remember because I was so out of it, but I know she was there, and that's all that's important. You know, like after I came home from the hospital, my parents came the first day. My boyfriend, he was really helpful with me, like with helping me in bed, helping with my meds, helping cook because I can't eat, so he'd cook for our family, and just like taking care of business because I couldn't, you know. So I do think that my recovery was awesome because of my awesome support system. So for me, recovery was really good. Next question. So, do you still get tempted to eat badly? Short answer, not really. Longer answer. It's not so much that I am not tempted. It's more that I'm not even paying attention to food the way I used to. I really am just doing what I guess normal people with normal stomachs do, and listening. So my body will tell me when I'm hungry, my body will tell me when I'm full, and it's weird, but the way normal people feel, like I never would have thought that this is how I would feel. But I can look at amazing food, like I can see people eating it right in front of me, and I just see it and I say, that looks good. I love that for you. But it's like I don't have that temptation to like want it myself. I don't want to eat it, but I can see it and not have an urge to eat it. My nutritionist told me that that was normal. A lot of people's appetite kind of does that. But she did say that that won't last. So I'm going to take advantage of that. But yeah, that part of your stomach or that part of your mind that tells you like, eat girl, eat, even though you're not hungry, like that part like is gone for me. I literally can look at food and not want it. If anything, sometimes I find myself forcing myself to eat because then I'll think, oh, I haven't eaten all day. I got to eat something now. So it's more just listening to my body. But no, I'm not tempted anymore. I really don't. I have moments where I look at food and I'm like, oh man, I miss being able to eat X, Y, and Z. But for me, it's been mostly like spicy food because that just doesn't agree with me. So I look at it and I'm like, damn, I wish I could have that. But I know I won't because I'm like, I do not want to burn my stomach and suffer those types of consequences. You know what I'm saying? So the urge isn't there, but I miss it, you know? But I think that's kind of a normal part of the journey, you know? I will say the pre-op liquid diet was probably mentally the hardest part because I still had a regular stomach, but I was changing my diet. So I think that was really difficult because then I still had those urges. I didn't have the help of the surgery yet. So I had to have self-control and discipline. Next question is eating harder? So it is different. It's not harder. My body instantly, from the moment I swallow, will tell me if I did a good job. If I didn't chew enough, it will hurt. If I ate too fast, it will hurt. If I eat too much, it will hurt. So it's just kind of a matter of listening to my body and doing what's right. But it's not harder. I get full really fast. Sometimes a couple bites will fill me up. Sometimes a chug of water, like literally if I just chug some water, that will fill me up. Like a lot, I get full very quickly. So it's more that I have to pace myself, but it's not harder. That's not hard. I have to just chew a lot to make sure that my food is literally a puree before I swallow. But those are things that people with regular stomachs should do anyway. You should always chew your food. But it's like I said, it was a learning process. I feel like I'm finally eating the way a normal person is supposed to eat. So it's not like it's like I'm an alien and I'm doing things so differently. I'm finally doing things the right way. So I know that sometimes people can stretch their stomach and pretty much compromise all the progress that they made, that the surgery gave them. The surgery is a tool, but it doesn't fix your problems. After a while, I will stop losing weight and I may even gain weight if I don't follow the right nutrition and the right exercise regime. So that's something to keep in mind. This is not the easy way out. As much as people like to think that, it is not easy by any means. Physically, mentally, financially, it's not an easy process. And it's a big change that you have to be ready for. Next question is, how does your family feel about it? I kind of said that. My family was very supportive. My parents were awesome. I feel like with my dad in the beginning, he kind of was the person that was like the most understanding. And I think it's because he himself is a little bit overweight. Like my mom and my boyfriend were very supportive, but because they're not like severely overweight, I don't think that they kind of like got it the way my dad did. Because my dad, like, I don't even think my mom or my boyfriend know this, but there was a day where I just like cried to my dad and I just told him like how unhealthy I felt, and he kind of just reassured me and made me feel better and said, you do what you have to do. I understand how hard this can be and I will support you, whatever. And it's like, I really appreciated that my parents, both of them, didn't sway me in one direction or the other. They never said do the surgery or don't do the surgery. They were always, whatever is going to make you happy, whatever it is that you want, let me know what you need and I will be there for you. Whatever it is that you do, I'm going to support you. And I feel like my mom specifically was very in tune with checking in on my mental health because she was concerned about that. I know that she was like, this isn't going to fix your mental health. Sometimes it can make it worse, which I have heard that can happen. Some people will replace a food addiction with another addiction because they're not healing themselves from whatever depression or whatever they have going on. So I know that my mom was very in tune with checking in on me, like where I was at in my mental health, and just making sure that this was the right choice and that I wasn't going to regret it or that it wasn't going to hurt me in the long run. You know, so I know that I appreciated that was an honest way of supporting me, you know, making sure that I knew what I was getting into and understanding the implications that this could possibly take on my life. She kind of tells me the reality of like what my choices are. Like she's not going to sugarcoat it and tell me what I want to hear. You know what I mean? Like she's going to be real, and I appreciate that. Also, outside of my family, I had a great support system of my best friend. I feel like when you have someone that can relate to you, it helps with the process. So my best friend, she was going through her own weight loss journey, and every day we kind of like were like, oh my god, I can't believe it, it's like really happening. Like when I was doing my liquid diet, I was like, oh my god. Just kind of like the mental health check-ins or the physical check-ins, like, hey girl, how you doing? So I can honestly say that I had a great support system of friends and family. My coworkers were great. They bought me like broth, because when I was on my liquid phase and I couldn't eat, they bought me broths. They bought me protein shakes. They bought me like Crystal Light for my water. And even before my liquid, they gave me a food funeral and like bought me this big lunch of like Chinese food and stuff. So like they were great. So, like I can honestly say that the people closest to me were amazing. It was exactly what I needed. Why did you decide to do it? So this is kind of a long story. I mean, it's not long, but basically I can attribute it back to last year. This is before I had my consultation. Last year, Father's Day. Last year, I had gifted my boyfriend a romantic hotel stay downtown Chicago at the Marriott, like a whole day planned. We went to Navy Pier and we did all kinds of things and we walked everywhere. And I was so embarrassed, but I couldn't do the walking after. And like right in the beginning, it wasn't even like it was like all day. I could not do the walking. I felt so embarrassed. I was tired. It was bad. It was that turning point that I realized, like, Linda, you have a problem. Like, you are not healthy. Like, you really are not. And I remember, and this is the beauty of womanhood and sisterhood. I wish I knew who this lady was, but she came up to me and she was just like a random lady. And she saw that I was like, because I had to stop, like in the middle of the street, I had to like stop and sit, and I was like, I was trying really hard not to cry, and I was winded, and my knees hurt, and I just couldn't go on. And mind you, I wasn't even wearing heels because it was bad. And she saw me struggling, and she came up and she was like that girl that I needed. And she was like my girlfriend. Like I didn't know her, but she came up to me like if we were best friends. And she was like, hey girl, she was like, you look so beautiful. Don't stop, just keep going. You look amazing. And she kind of was like pumping me up, and she like, you know, helped me kind of get up. But it was embarrassing and it was rough. And I don't think my boyfriend had realized how badly my weight had gotten, because I don't think he ever paid attention to it as much as I did. And I think he always just thought it was more an aesthetic thing, like, oh, I'm so fat, I would just say, oh my god, I'm so fat. But I think that's when he realized, like, I feel unhealthy. Not just that I don't like how I look, I feel bad all the time. Like, I don't feel good. And so that's kind of when the turning point happened. And I told him, I was like, I need to go do something. And that's when I literally, that following week, I made an appointment to see my doctor. I got my consultation. He told me I was a good candidate, and I was like, let's go, let's start. And he was like, okay. And I started. Like, that was my moment. That was like my moment where I realized like I needed help. But I had kind of contemplated the surgery for a while. I just never really like started the process, because it was kind of one of those things that I really believed like I'm never gonna do it, or I can't do that. I'm not one of those people that does that. Like, it's gonna be so expensive and it's gonna be like a lot of work, and like I don't know. But then I realized like this is the thing that's gonna save me. And I know people have their judgments about it, and I really don't care, because they're not the ones that had to do it, and they're not the ones that are living my life. I'm the one living with my choices. So I'm not gonna live my life caring about other people's opinions about my choices, because that's just a waste of time. It really is. And as long as I'm happy with my choices and I am living my life the way I like to, that's all that matters. What is VSG? So VSG stands for vertical sleeve gastrectomy. Basically, it's where they remove, everyone is different. No one is left with the same stomach. Everyone that gets the surgery gets a different size. So basically, they remove 70 to 80% of your stomach and then leave the rest. So depending on how big your stomach is stretched or how small your stomach was, you're left with whatever percent remains, 20 to 30% of your remaining stomach. And that can be different from person to person, depending on like how you eat and how big your stomach was. So yeah, I have a smaller stomach now. What is the negative side of surgery physically and mentally? For me, I don't think there has been any negative side effects. I think just the way I eat is different. I will get a lot gassier than I used to get, like eating and drinking. I burp all the time. It's a little annoying. But physically, I haven't encountered anything too bad. Mentally, I will say it is a struggle coming to terms with the new lifestyle. Especially when a food is an addiction. So just like any addiction, it can be hard to, come out of it, but it's not impossible. Also, family gatherings, going out to dinner, all that kind of stuff is different, and it does feel a little strange when everyone else is eating and you can't. It does kind of, I don't want to say depressed, but it makes you a little sad. It gives you that FOMO, but I knew what I was getting myself into when I did this, so I was prepared for that feeling. Why didn't you lose weight the natural way? I did try, okay? And I did lose weight before surgery. I'm just gonna say this. I am 31 years old, and I have been on a diet every year my whole life since the age of about 13, maybe even 12. My weight was going to be an issue my whole life, and I needed something that was going to help me. This is a tool that I chose to help my life, because I knew my weight was going to be a forever thing. Yes, I could have lost weight, but it was going to be a continuous issue for me. So I felt that this was the best choice for me. Like I said, go see your doctor if this is something you're contemplating, because everyone is different. It may not be everyone's choice or number one choice. And this was not my number one choice. I have attempted to lose weight and do everything I could to lose weight. Trust me, I've done everything. So yeah, I'm not offended, but I understand why people would ask that. But I did lose weight the natural way, and I have lost weight the natural way. And for me, diets are not sustainable. How much weight did you lose? So right now, I currently hit 6 weeks post-op, and I already lost 36 pounds. So yay. I'm anticipating, my doctor said I should be around 80 to 100 pounds lost within a year, like at my 1 year mark. I don't know. That sounds like a lot, but we shall see. Next question. One thing that surprised you about surgery or your results? Surprised me. I don't think anything was like surprising per se. It's amazing to me now that like I can eat like a normal person. Like I think, again, food as an addiction. I didn't realize like what a normal person eats like, and now I just listen and I realize if I just listen to my body, like everything just works eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. Like it sounds crazy to say that, but I never did that, you know? I don't know where I went wrong in life to not know that, because I will say I just always had this thing in my head where I had to finish everything on my plate. Doesn't matter how big the plate was. I just always, even when I was full, I had to finish everything on my plate. Like, I don't know where that came from, because I didn't grow up poor. I didn't grow up hungry. Like, if anything, I grew up very privileged, and you know, like my parents always fed us great, and like, I don't know where this overindulging of food happened, but it did. Realizing that you don't have to like keep going when you're already full. Like, you can stop. Like, you have to stop. I think that's probably the part that has most surprised me, is that I'm able to stop myself now. I also what's changed for me physically, I don't get cravings the way I used to, and like the urges to like eat something crunchy or something sweet or something whatever, like I don't get those urges anymore. Do you think you'll have more kids now that you've had your surgery? I don't know. I don't know. I don't plan to. I am preventing it, so it's not a choice that I'm actively making. I have 3 kids, so I feel fulfilled with the amount of kids that I have. I don't feel the need to have more, but I love being pregnant. I love being a mom, and I love everything about having a baby. So I think I missed that, but I don't think I want more kids. So I don't anticipate it, but it could change. I'm still young. So I don't think that I will. I think this is my time to kind of, you know, like focus on my health and focus on my growth. A lot of things have been happening in my life that are different now. I just bought a house. I'm a first-time home buyer. I am getting my health back together. I have an amazing job. I have amazing friends. I have great family support. Like, I'm at a really good place in my life right now. So I'm not like trying to change anything. I'm just trying to keep this momentum. You know what I mean? But I love kids. So I would never say never, but I'm not planning it. What kind of surgery did you get, and how was the process? I kind of already answered this. I got VSG surgery. That's the gastric sleeve. Got 70 to 80% of my stomach removed. And like I said in the beginning, my process was about a year long. Okay, and the last question is, I'm getting it done. How was it waking up? It was weird. Okay, so I have had my gallbladder removed, so I would kind of compare it to that. It's just strange going into surgery, putting on the gas mask, being told to count to backwards from 100, and for both surgeries, I remember this exact same thing happening. I would just say 99, 98. I never remember going past 98. And then it's just weird how it feels like seconds for you, but it's hours. I say 98, close my eyes, wake up, and I'm, where am I? So it's weird waking up, and also the anesthesia really knocked me out. I was asleep all day pretty much. I had to get up to walk, and it was torture to walk, not because it was painful, but just because I was so tired. I woke up, my surgery was really quick, and it was only a couple hours long. My surgery was at 7 a.m. I got there like around 5 a.m. My surgery was like at 7 a.m. I was out of surgery before noon. I think it was like 11 something. And I was in recovery afterwards. I don't even remember. I know my mom came, and I vaguely remember it, but I didn't talk to her. I wasn't able to communicate with her, but I know she was there. And then I just ended up in my room by myself, and I was like, where the hell am I? And then I went back to sleep, and I woke up at 4 p.m. They brought me dinner, and like I literally didn't eat. I had like a couple spoons of broth and some water, and it was really weird, and it hurt. And then I went back to sleep, and then I woke up at 7 p.m. So it was weird. I just was tired. Waking up from that dose of anesthesia was exhausting, but not painful. It was discomfort. I felt like the tightness on my ribs, but I just had to burp and fart a lot, and then it got better, you know. That's pretty much what the gas pain is. That's the only way to relieve it. They also gave me a binder for my stomach, kind of like a girdle, but it was Velcro, and that really helped in pushing out the gas. So yeah, I wore that like the whole week. I wore it under my clothes to work. I wore it at home. Like, it really helped. I've heard a lot of people say that their gas pain takes sometimes almost 2 weeks for it to get out, and I think mine passed within like 4 to 5 days because I kept religiously putting the binder, burping, and kind of like, you know, without hurting myself, but pushing my gas out. So yeah, those are all of my questions. If you guys have any other questions, you can feel free to leave them down below, and I can either answer them in the comments or in another video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go do my hair and put on a cute outfit. I might show you guys the picture at the end of the video, but thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to share, like, comment, and subscribe if you're interested in keeping up with my videos. Hit that notification bell so that you can get notified every time I upload. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.